Hey everybody, Steve here, and welcome to day 4 of my journey into crypto. And today's going to be pretty quick, pretty short, but the one thing I'm going to accomplish today is setting up a payment method within Binance so I can then move to the next step of buying some type of cryptocurrency. And again, I'm always going to preface it. I know this might seem basic if you've already dabbled in this, but if you're starting from the standpoint of a beginner, it's really helpful to know what are all the things that they're going to ask you? How does it actually work? And anytime you're dealing with real money that you've earned, that you've saved, it's helpful to know what's involved before you go take those next steps. And so those are all the things that go through my mind as I look into these new type of technologies. So I'm going to walk you through what I did. So first of all, I just went over this, add a payment method, do a little bit of review so I kind of have an understanding, at least at a high level, about what else might be involved and as far as fees go. And I'll start thinking about what my plans are for the first purchase. So first of all, now that I've got my account set up, the next thing I need to do is just add a payment method because I've got zero money in the account. It's just like a bank account. I have zero funds in it, so there's nothing I can do. And this is pretty straightforward. Once you click on that add payment method, they're going to give you some options that you're probably familiar with already. ACH, debit card, domestic wire. The one that is recommended and the one that's going to be the easiest is ACH. And it's also going to be the one that does not have any fees associated with it for the most part. And that's what I chose. And this is pretty typical. Again, if you do anything with online accounting software, the setup is very similar to link your account to Binance. And what they do is they use a service called Plaid. It's a third party that does the connection as a broker. So Plaid doesn't see your information. They're just making that secure brokerage between Binance and your financial institution. And I'm just going to show you every screen that you're going to go through. So first of all, you select your bank. And yes, they are all up there, just about any that you can think of. And you're going to then choose, once you choose your bank, you're going to enter your credentials for your bank account. Once you do that, they're going to do a two-factor authentication to make sure it's you. So they're going to text you a code to your mobile number. And again, you're going to put that right back in there. And that's it. It's that easy. The only thing they're going to ask you is if you have multiple type of accounts within that financial institution, they're going to ask you which account you want to use. I have multiple checking accounts, so I chose mine. And that's the only thing I omitted from this process. So now I've got my bank account connected. So it's great. So the other thing I want to look at is there is a fee schedule. So what does that mean? And I'm not going to do a deep dive into it tonight. I just want to get an idea of what is involved in that. So first of all, you can see that they have a pretty detailed breakdown and you can read into it a little bit more. So a couple of things that stand out to me. They've got a general spot trading fee. And also when you pay for these fees, if you read this part closely, if you hold BNB in your account, you can get a reduction in what the fees actually are. So what does this mean? BNB is an actual cryptocurrency that is associated with Binance. So they created a cryptocurrency and there's a bunch of detail about how it was created. But basically, if you convert US dollars into their currency and pay with your balance, using that cryptocurrency, you'll get a 25% reduction in your fees. So I think if you're doing a lot of transactions, that will make sense. Just an interesting thing that I wanted to note right away, because now that we're in this world, we're going to start the journey with US dollars, but we're going to buy something. I don't know what that is yet. And that's going to give us opportunities to leverage that currency to do something else. That's where I think the fun is going to start happening. But we're just in the foundational stage right now, getting ready to take that next step. So here we are. And the next thing I need to do is I need to put some money in here. So I need to create a balance. So now that I got my bank account connected, I can deposit funds and I'm just starting easy. Again, to me, this is an experiment just to learn how to navigate, how to get things done, and just remove the fear of failure, remove the fear of something bad's going to happen. Start out with play money. And so I'm just going to start out with $100 to do something with. And that's what I completed just now. I did a deposit into Binance. So I have $100 to work with. In the next step, I'm going to take some time to figure out what am I going to buy with it. There's so many options and I don't really have an idea yet what I want to do. I have a couple parameters and I'll share that right now. First of all, I want to buy something that's just really low cost just to go through the act of buying it and seeing what happens. So that'll be probably something that's like Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, one of those really inexpensive. They're still, measured in pennies or fractions of pennies. And again, that way I can spend $10, $20, $30 and just go through the process and understand the transaction and see what I can do with those, if anything. And then that'll give me an opportunity to start evaluating, okay, what else may I want to buy? And I'll start going through that process. So that is it for today. I hope this process is helpful for you. And if you have any questions about something you'd like me to cover, please leave that in the comments because we're getting close to the point where we're going to depart the foundational component of this journey and we're going to go wherever the rabbit hole leads us. So I have a bunch of ideas in my mind and I want to do something that's relevant for you too. Okay, that's it. Take care.